Last year, Impact, we ran a network on anti-racist practices and strengthening inclusion. One of the network coordinators for this network was an organisation called Chili Pep, and they highlighted an example of good practice. One of the examples of this was the Goodwin Development Trust in Hull. We spoke to 3 people during a family fun day on the Thornton estate in July. Scott, who works for the Goodwin Development Trust as a housing manager, Carolyn, who works with the doula breastfeeding support service, and Sana, who runs the Women's Voice Forum, which helps to support women have a better voice within Tent Association. In this video, you'll hear extracts from those conversations about how to do anti-racist practice. And we learn from what they think has worked, what they think hasn't gone so well, and what advice they'd give to others trying to do the same.
Learning from the Impact Network on anti-racist practice and strengthening inclusion.
Yes, my name is Scott Henderson. I'm a housing manager for the Goodwin Development Trust. I've worked for Goodwin for 20 years now.
So my name's Caroline Scuffham and I'm the project manager of the Goodwin Doulas, the Breastfeeding Peer Support Service and the Birth Defeated Practitioners.
My name is Sana Ben Ali. I came from Libya in 2011 and as I said, originally from Libya, but I lived in Hull since 2011.
What are the main barriers faced in your community?
Language is a challenge. It's something that we come up against, with most of our client groups. And in fact, the majority of our client group are white British. So we do have a lot of different languages and cultures to work with.
Some of them, they came from different countries, which they haven't been in school before. They don't know how to write, to read, even in their first language. So this is a very big challenge for them. You move to another country, another weather, another system, another everything. It's not easy. They don't know how to complain. They don't know how to just say positive things. They don't know how to report maintenance for their houses. Sometimes they are struggling for something very small. They don't know how to fill the forms for transferring children to school. They don't know how to apply for a home search or something like this.
I think isolation is quite a large thing as well. So it's about how do you reach those people that are isolated. We've got 7 or 8 large tower blocks on the estate. So if you're of a certain age and you are disconnected from society in a way, it's about finding these people and going to them, even stuff like leaflet drops and notice boards and speaking to residents association groups and get them to talk to each other.
What works when working with diverse communities?
First of all, being accessible. This building is 3 floors and it's in the heart of the estate, opposite the parade of shops. So I think if your doors are closed, it's quite probably intimidating to come into a corporate building and have to get into a lift or up a flight of stairs to speak to a nicely laminated reception area. We've had various buildings and units on the estate over the years, so we used to be accessible. If it's on the pavement and the door's there and there's physical human beings you can see. So it's about getting out there and consultation and research, listening to people, using the funding for these community development projects to, first of all, just listen. What do you want to do? How can we help? How can we enable you? And empowering them, not in a patronizing way, but to sort of get involved themselves. Every area has a multitude of hidden skills and talents that people have and interests, maybe behind closed doors or whatever you say. It's about it could be knitting, it could be woodwork, it could be, obviously sports, it's quite an easy one really, but it could be absolutely anything. We get grants for warm space areas during the winter, so but as part of that we'll do a food social and build that social element around it. And just with the different communities as well, so we've got quite a large Eastern European community now, especially since the Ukraine conflict, which unfortunately is still going on. But you've seen with Sana, I think she's from Libya. So you've got the cooking as well is a fantastic way of bringing people together. So you've got sort of Afghan food, Kurdish food, Iraqi food, Somalian food, and people are skill sharing, and the same with these Eastern Europeans as well. So it's good. You would just find vehicles, if you like, to make people integrate sorry, make people, that sounds a bit wrong. So we encourage people to integrate, and by and large, people come out of it smiling, and that's the best feedback you can get, I think.
We always listen to our clients' voices, and that does really shape how we deliver our service. So, for example, we go and see each mum after she's given birth, and talk through her experiences, both in within our service, but also within the maternity services as a whole. And then the other agency that she might be working with as well, so we can feed that feedback back to them. We've got the NMVP, which is the neonatal and maternity services, and they value feedback, and we always pass that on to them so that it can shape the maternity services. But certainly within what we do, we want to know that we're reaching the right people, but also reaching them in the right way. So that voice, I think, is where we go with our research.
And if you want to improve your anti-racist practice and improve your policies and your approach, speak to the community groups that are out there. Listen to them, let them lead the way, and let them have the input, and learn from that. How do they want to be treated?
The first thing, we started to know each other. We nearly knocked the doors for the neighbors to find out, hello, how are you? Do you need help or something like this? So the first time, some people, they don't talk with me. They said, we don't know you, who you are. I said, I'm new in this area. So I've tried to make it easy for them.
We give as many methods as possible for them to report anything they want, whether it's a QR code, email address, an automated service, text message. Like I said, there's many different ways, but they like to talk to you face to face, the community. They don't like to talk to the police. They don't like to talk to the council, and I can understand why. And so we get out there, we talk to people. So sometimes it's just chance encounters or what have you. And I wouldn't change that. I think larger housing associations, maybe big corporate buildings set on an estate somewhere, closed doors, and they can maybe send an email or whatever you are, get an automated voicemail, and that's it. They don't have that personal touch.
Non-verbal communication is so important. So you can hold someone's hand, you can look into her eyes, you can use appropriate body language to convey what you want to say to somebody in a lot of ways, and you don't always need words to be someone's befriender or to be someone's support person. Somebody knowing that you're on the same page as them is very powerful. I think it's about listening to people. So because culture is very individual, you could all come from the same country and have different cultures, and I think it's important to ask somebody exactly what is important to them in terms of their culture and their belief system. So we use the culturegram to find out the different aspects of their life and which parts that we can have a positive impact on. We talk to them about their experiences, whether that's in a different country or since they've been to the UK. And we're open to learning, and I think that's really key. We want to understand what's important, and so asking those questions and being interested is very important to us.
We stripped it back to basics. It wasn't rocket science at all. It was just speaking the obvious things and getting back out there and serving the community.